Right, Saturday, Newcastle. This is the preview. Here we go. Adam, I'm starting with you. Memphis Depay. Everybody's getting really excited. People are making Ronaldo comparisons. He was absolutely superb in the Champions League qualifier. Is this all a bit too much? Are we putting on too much pressure on this 21-year-old?
I think he puts the pressure on himself. I mean, I saw his post-match interview this morning after the game, and he was more gutted that he didn't get a hat-trick or the fourth goal. And I think it's exactly what we need from him and from a Manchester United player, is that mentality that they're going to go out there and be the best. He's got that kind of tunnel vision, Mayweather mentality that he is going to be the man. He is going to be one of the best players in the world. And I believe he's in the right place to achieve that. And if he can produce moments like he did yesterday, then he'll go very close to doing that. He's still got a long way to go, though. The reason I compared him to Ronaldo wasn't because I believe he's going to win the Champions League, win Ballon d'Or, and do all of that this season. But the way he scored those goals, cutting it in, banging it in, just running at defenders, bullying them. We haven't had a player do that in a long time at United.
Okay. Squawker Dave.
Yeah, completely agree with Adam. You know, Memphis, a real fighter. You know, he showed that he was so annoyed that he didn't score. You know, 4 goals he said he should have scored. It's fantastic stuff. I think we're going to see the best of Memphis at left midfield now. You know, he was played at second striker. Just looking at his shots that he's taken in those games, you know, against Tottenham, playing as a second striker, he had 3 shots on goal. Compared that to when he was on the left against Aston Villa, 7 shots on goal, and then last night, 9 shots on goal. It's a massive improvement. Memphis is better on the left-hand side, and that's where he needs to play. And I think his link-up potential with, you know, Juan Mata running in behind, and then Januzaj sort of dribbling and playing those lovely short passes can be beautiful. And last night it was just absolutely fantastic. 2 goals, 9 shots on goal, 22% chance conversion, and that fantastic assist for the vital goal at the end for Fellaini.
Okay, now, Gaz, I don't want to be that guy to bring this up, but I will. Di Maria had a blinding start, and it all tailed off. Do you have any concerns? Do you think people are getting overexcited?
No, I don't have any concerns. Can I just say about Memphis is everyone's comparing him to Ronaldo, or hearing people compare him to Ronaldo. He's not the next Ronaldo. He's not the next Messi. He is just Memphis. He's a different player, and he can. It's a good line, that, wasn't it? I've been working on that all night. But honestly, I think he's got some great potential. And what I love about him as well, not only has he already got some ability, however, I really like his attitude. I like how confident he is, and I like how maybe slightly cocky he is. However, that can obviously, there's negatives that come with that. However, when he scored the equaliser last night, what I like is that he barely even celebrated, because it was an equaliser. It's not like, you know what I mean? You should be scoring an equaliser. And then obviously when he put us in front, he did his stupid whip celebration, which personally I think we should sell him for, but let's keep him, shall we? And yeah, like Adam said, that comment after as well, saying he's disappointed to score more. He's cocky, but he's also got the right attitude. He could succeed if he gets his head down.
I'd say a player that you can compare him to in world football right now, you know, everyone compares him with Ronaldo. It's more Ian Robin. He's more this inside forward that comes into his stronger foot, and he does go for the curler far post. He can take people on, and I think that's a better comparison in a way to Ian Robin, I'd say.
Nice. Okay, thanks, Dave. Right, let's talk about Marcos Alberto Faustino Rojo. Where on earth is he, Adam?
Well, he's obviously been in the Copa America, come back to training later than everybody else, so as he needs to get his couple of weeks training under his belt. I actually want to see him start against Newcastle. I've been looking at pictures of him in training. He's looking a lot fitter than he did when he first arrived off his break. So I'm hoping Rojo starts at the weekend. He's the man that can come in at left centre-back. And although I do have a few concerns about him being a centre-half for us, i.e. that he's very rash, he runs out, he runs under the ball sometimes, but he's a warrior and he's a battler, and we need that centre half. And I can't wait for him to come back, to be honest.
Okay, Dave.
I'm not his biggest fan at centre half. I think he lacks a little bit of composure and defensive awareness to fully lock down that position. I think he's pretty decent on the ball, but at the moment we've got Daley Blind there, who is even better on the ball. You know, a midfielder by trade. You know, he's been fantastic this year. He's completed more passes than any United player, really controlling it from the back. And how he dealt with Club Brugge's big striker, Uli, I think that's how you pronounce it, fantastically. You know, a big lad, 6'5", very strong, pacey, and Daley Blind just used his experience, defended really well against him. I want to see Daley Blind continue there. I think we need a settled back four in the Premier League, and I'd say we just continue. Rojo off the bench as left back at some time, I'd say.
Okay, go on, Gaz. What do you think?
I don't know if you did see Rojo when he came back into training, but
Blue wasn't slender, was
he's
it?
put on some timber, hasn't he?
Better now. He's looking good.
Is he looking good? Right, fair enough.
Yeah, he's looking good again.
Got on the Atkins. Yeah, but Rojo, you know, I like Rojo as a centre half, and I think in certain games his rashness can come into play in a positive way. However, I don't think we can take that spot away from Daley Blind. I think he's been fantastic in 3 games now, and you know, at the end of the day, I know he didn't get a clean sheet last night, but that goal was an absolute fluke. I think defensively we've been brilliant in 3 games now. I don't think there's any reason to split it up at all.
Okay.
Don't you think, though, defensively? Sorry, Sam. When we come up against someone half decent, like if we were to come up against a Chelsea with Diego Costa, don't you think it would then be worrying?
Yeah, but mate, we've not come up against them yet. If we come up against them and you know we get absolutely bossed, then fair enough. But
it will happen.
How do you know? How do we know? We don't know that, though, do we?
He's not a centre half, man. It's not a centre half.
It's interesting how he dealt with the bruised striker. It's going to be, you know, for example, Diego Costa, a brilliant example of a player that could really rough up Daley Blind, you know, pressing him, harrying, winding him up. It's going to be interesting to see how Daley Blind copes. I hope that Daley Blind gets through that and becomes our centre-half, because obviously we're searching for one. We missed out on Matt Hummels this summer. His form has been absolutely fantastic for Dortmund so far. So if we can get a sort of ball-playing centre-back out of Daley Blind, that'll be great for me.
If we've got Chris Dwayne Johnson Small alongside him, no striker will scare him. Not one.
Okay, right, Gaz, you don't want Daley Blind to lose his place in the back 4, so who is in your team to face Newcastle?
You've asked me first, so let me get my phone out. Right, I've had, it's a similar team really to the one that's played the last 2 games, but Romero in goal, unchanged back 4, Darmian, Smalling, Blind, Shaw. And then as my 2 central midfielders, I've gone for Schneiderlin and Herrera, just because I think that Schneiderlin in the last game proved that he's great at, you know, breaking up plays, a fantastic defensive midfielder. And I think if we're going to play a centre midfielder alongside him, it needs to be someone who's a bit more positive, really. I mean, Carrick and Schweinsteiger, there's definitely a place for them, but I think sort of instead of Schneiderlin. But I kind of get this feeling that Van Gaal prefers Herrera as a number 10. But I want to see Herrera there. And then up top, I've got Memphis on the left, Januzaj on the right. I think he's more effective on the wing, and I think Mata is more effective behind the striker. So Mata's there, and I've had Rooney up top. I'm keeping him there just because Wayne Rooney can be fantastic, and to drop him after 3 games, I think would be a little bit foolish.
All right, let's see if Dave agrees.
Yeah,
on, Dave.
Definitely. Same goalkeeper, Romero in goal, same back 4. I think Darmian, what he's done brilliantly since he's come in, he's played the defensive role. My main concern with Smalling is when he defends wide on the touchline, when people get in behind in that the right back slot. Darmian is brilliant at covering that slot. He's an inside fullback in a way, not a Antonio Valencia wing back. So I think that relationship on the right side is going to be absolutely fantastic. Daley Blind mentioned before. Absolutely, he's done very well this year at centre-half. And then Luke Shaw, fantastic. That link-up with Memphis is something to watch out for. In midfield, I'm going to go with Bastian Schweinsteiger and Schneiderlin. I think that's the perfect complement. I think Gaz is right in how he's saying that Schneiderlin and Carrick are too similar. For me, it doesn't create... Van Gaal likes this 8 lines where the formation is broke down into 8 lines. With Schweinsteiger and Carrick, it's creating 1 line instead of 2. You know, how Louis van Gaal likes it is 1 midfielder dropping ahead and 1 being there. They're too similar, 2 together. That's why I want Schweinsteiger in there. Or Herrera is a very good option. Front 4, exactly the same. Mata on the right, Januzaj second striker, Memphis on the left, and Wayne Rooney up front. I think we've got to keep Rooney in the team. He's got to get fit and he'll start scoring goals. But Hernandez is going to be a great shout off the bench this season.
He did really well last night, Hernandez.
He did, fantastic.
Okay, Adam, I'm going to ask you this. Difference of opinions on Mata, on the right or in the middle?
I disagree with Gaz on Januzaj being better out wide. I think he's right when he says Mata's better through the middle. But Januzaj, for me, is best through the middle when he's got players moving around him. Him and Mata always look slow when they get the ball out wide. But when they get it in the centre areas and they've got that movement around them and they've got the trickery of the feet, they can pick a pass as well. I think in the first half yesterday, Adnan Januzaj showed us maybe the player he can be in the future for Manchester United when he was playing centrally, because he was pulling a lot of strings for United. I think he went about it very quietly yesterday. I remember a lot of people on the fan cams didn't mention him, but I thought he had a better game for us against Bruges than he did against Villa.
Okay, great. Okay, so let's talk about Newcastle. What is going to be the sticking point? Who's going to cause us problems, Dave?
Well, it could be that Mitrovic lad. He's an absolute nutcase. He's been booked already twice in the Premier League. But his goal-scoring record in Belgium is pretty brilliant. Another one that could be causing us a bit of problems is Mo Sissoko. Fantastic midfield. It could really pressurise our two defensive midfielders in, being very combative and in their face. Defensively, though, there's going to be a bit of questions for Newcastle. Janmaat got sent off last week, and Anita came in and played right back for a bit of a spell, and then Bieber came back and played right back at the end and was absolutely awful. Jefferson Montero tore him up. So you could see Depay hitting that right back zone and causing them a lot of problems.
Okay, that is some proper information. Now some opinion, Gaz.
I've got no facts really. The new lad, I'm going to let Dave pronounce his name. Wijnaldum, him. He's looked pretty good, to be fair. And I was speaking to a lot of Newcastle fans where I work, and they rave about him. They think he's going to be brilliant. When I didn't watch PSV too much last season, but when I did, two players that stood out, him and Memphis. So, I think there's a lot of fears maybe around him. But I think in terms of their forward line, I'd be confident with our back four. And that sounds crazy because a month ago I was crying out for a centre half. But I'm feeling confident with the way our back four is playing, especially Chris Smalling.
Okay, go on, Adam. What do you reckon?
Apart from the players the lads have already said, is Emmanuel Riviere still there?
He's still there somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, I liked him when he played in France, and I know he hasn't done much for Newcastle, but if he does play, I'll be looking forward to seeing him because I did like him when he was in France.
He's got decent movement, hasn't he, off the ball, and it's just that consistent game time I think you need as a striker, and he's not getting that at Newcastle, so maybe he could cause us some problems from the bench.
Yeah, lads, definitely agree. Yeah, definitely.
Gaz ain't got a clue, has he?
Is he good
All right.
FIFA?
Let's do predictions, shall we? Gaz, you can go first.
I think it'll be a tough game, to be honest, but let's say 2-0.
Dave?
4-0. Going to go big. Memphis double, Rooney, Januzaj. It's going to be. It's going to start flowing.
Adam McCullough.
I think it could be one of those moments where we see a good performance and a good result at last. 3-0 United. Not Newcastle.
I'll say 3-1 to be different. That is the preview. Thanks, guys, for joining us on Skype. Let us know what you think of the game. Let us know what you think about Mata in the middle or Mata out wide, Rooney in the middle, where is Rojo, and about Memphis Depay. Is he under too much pressure? Get it in the comments below. Let us know what you think the score will be, and have an absolutely fantastic week.